Joining us now is Makram Rabah, who is a lecturer in the Department of History at the American University of Beirut. Makram, good to have you on the show. I want your analysis on this because are you at all surprised by how well specifically the independents have done in this election? Because coming into this, not only were they not unified, perhaps even fragmented, but also they were receiving threats. They were intimidated by the mainstream parties.
Basically, what happened is that this bullying by the ruling establishment, and particularly by Hezbollah, actually helped in the voting process. What was really surprising in this that the low turnout usually goes to the pro government side because they have enough votes to get their people elected. However, this time the low vote actually came to help the anti-establishment, or what we call the forces of change. And in a way, these people are not newbies. They have been openly opposing this ruling establishment for the last 20 years. And many of these 10 or 12 opposition figures are veterans when it comes to political opposition, and more importantly, when it comes to the weapons of Hezbollah. These people call it as is. They say that Hezbollah is an Iranian militia which provides cover for the corrupt ruling establishment, and thus their entry into the parliament is not just a small detail, but really a big message to all the Lebanese people that despite that elections actually might solidify the ruling establishment, it still is a very direct challenge to their hegemony over the state.
Let's talk about the repercussions. I mean, considering the 10 to 12 opposition figures, it's likely that we're going to see a fairly mixed bag when it comes to the parliament. I'm wondering if you think it's going to be very difficult for these new lawmakers to make any progress when it comes to pulling the country out of a financial crisis.
Well, I don't think that anyone who knows what's happening in Lebanon actually bets on solving the financial crisis, because at the end of the day, Lebanon doesn't have a problem with economy, but rather we have a governance issue. The problem is that Lebanon has been alienated and ostracized by what Iran has done in unison with the ruling establishment. So in reality, anyone who is interested in any form of economic recovery should actually deal with the elephant in the room. And here, this elephant, or the hordes of elephants in the room, are Hezbollah, as well as the ruling establishment, who say that Hezbollah is a regional problem. Hezbollah, as it stands, is using Lebanon as a base for their operations in the region, and they are alienating Lebanon vis-a-vis the Arab Gulf, which has provided Lebanon and the Lebanese economy with a kind of a financial net. This is why the new parliamentary bloc will basically remind everyone who's in parliament of that the rule of law is what goes, not the consensus of the ruling establishment, who really do not care about the constitution or have not really read or implemented the laws of the nation.
Okay. Makram Rabah, thank you very much for joining us here on the NewsHour. Do appreciate that analysis.
Thank you for having me.